Crypto-Anarchy is a school of anarchy that uses cryptographic software to protect ourselves from harassment, from hierarchical structures, mostly focused on protecting us from the government. Began mostly from encrypting messages using technology called cryptography, encrypting messages so people can send messages without the government surveillance. And the main focus in the beginning was government surveillance. Why is that important? Because for me personally, it's not really a problem for the government to be watching everything I do. However, when it comes to whistleblowers, people who are reporting on government no-nos, so when the government does something wrong, violence, corruption, killing people necessary, which most governments are involved in all the time, and informing people of the situation can get you car bombed. You can be put in prison, and they can write a law. The lawmakers can write laws saying what you're doing is illegal, and they can put you in prison. Or in what happened to hundreds of thousands of people in Ireland, police can come to your home, bring you to a court. There's a judge. They have a farce trial, but it's not really a legally registered trial. Therefore, they never actually arrested you, and you voluntarily went to prison. I kid you not. That's how they got people into labour camps. So the initial purpose was to protect us from government surveillance, because very interested in exchanging. Yeah, even if it's just information you want to send to your grandma saying, hey, hello, how are you doing? If you want that to be private, why not make it private? But there's a large importance of exchanging information freely without the government interfering with us, so we can inform other people about government corruption. So let's say the most famous case of this, of course, is WikiLeaks. Is a media organisation where people send government documents that prove the government is actually breaking international law, or is corrupt, or is killing people for no reason, which is usually very difficult for people to do normally, because you can get arrested, beaten, or murdered for exposing government corruption. So I recommend looking up the video Collateral Murder, which is a video where there's these journalists in Iraq, and they're trying to video camera a guy in a military helicopter. The guy in a military helicopter is like, hey, I'm just going to shoot those people. And then they just kill a bunch of people. An ambulance comes, and then they shoot the ambulance. So you can actually watch a videotape of a government person just killing people for no apparent reason, because most of the time when the government kills people, it is for no good reason. So our main focus is protecting ourselves from government surveillance, largely a big pro-freedom of speech and anonymity movement. But this cryptographic technology has also led to a counter-economics movement. So cryptography helps us, give us a degree of choice in how anonymous we want to do in our trades. So we can actually have an entire economy at the moment, something like $750 billion worth of trades, where things can be anonymous and no one needs to know what we're doing, and you can earn a living online, free from hierarchical structures. Again, mostly trying to avoid being controlled by the government, and of course you can apply the same philosophy to not wanting to have a boss, free from powerful government or religious institutions, trade unions, or farm structures. But again, the main focus is decentralizing authority, so we no longer can be harassed and abused by government authority. And Bitcoin is the biggest example, but from Bitcoin there has been 1,000 more projects that have come about that are helping us. They're helping people, helping me live a more free lifestyle, so we don't have to submit to authority that we do not wish to, and we no longer have to. That is no longer. It's no longer an ideal, right? It's no longer. We no longer it's no longer an idealistic view of the world. Like it's not an idealistic. Ooh, I want to live in a world free of authority where we can make exchanges. It's a reality that exists now. The technology is there, and more people are realizing, hey, you can get into cryptocurrency, you can get into Bitcoin and the other projects, and we can live free or die trying. But it can be done, and while we put a strong emphasis on cryptography, I mean, don't necessarily have to get into cryptocurrency. We could simply just have online businesses like teaching English online. There's webcams, making apps, charging people for the apps, doing art online, making a song, putting it up on YouTube, and every time someone plays, you get revenue. I mean, like, we have succeeded in making software that helps us exchange information freely and privately. We have created a counter-economic several thousands of different networks with cryptocurrency, and education is now free. I'm going to say 90% of the world. I picked that number 90% because apparently 10% of the world lives in poverty, but let's just say 90% of the world can go online, learn about cryptocurrency, learn about IT, learn about finance, which are the highest paying jobs in the world, and become liberated and free within a few months. And all this education is free online. So we've successfully decentralized and freed speech, the economy, and education. Slowly working on healthcare. That's going to be a difficult one, but the golden prize is laws. It would be great if we could replace the legal system, voting, governments, states, and borders, and we just had emotionless software that did the laws for us. So we are getting there with smart contracts. I mean, you sign a contract, you put in your private key, boom, bam, boom. The contract gets executed, boop, you get the rewards. You don't meet the conditions of the contract, you lose the resources. How are we going to... That's going to be quite difficult to apply that to actually the moving world that's not actually controlled by software and computers. But it's just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time. Where we could do that instead of voting in political parties, you just have a phone app. It's like you've got... Most smartphones are either Microsoft, Android, Apple, and it is possible to have a completely Linux or Ubuntu phone. It is possible. And you can make your own software, you can make your own phone, or you make your phone apps, and you can just have, I have the blue, the red, the green, or the purple parties apps, and that is the that's the fee I pay for those services, and these are my restrictions, and if I break those conditions, I have to pay a fee. Whenever. I mean, we haven't solved that problem yet, but that is the aim, is to get rid of the hierarchical structures, because the word anarchy, despite what many people believe this word means, anarchy just means without rulers. And crypto-anarchy means, the word crypto kind of means secret, and anarchy means without rules, secrecy without rulers. The emphasis is to not have rulers, and really the focus is not to have political rulers, government rulers. If you don't want to have a boss or live in that structure, you don't have to. In the crypto-anarchy space, you can work for a boss, or you don't have to work for a boss. It's a matter of choice, the degree, and you also don't have to be private either. We don't have to be private. I mean, you can use Apple and Google, and you can tell everyone what you're doing. So, I hope my midnight rant is helping people understand the meaning of crypto-anarchy. And there's a few crypto-anarchy. There's like probably two famous Crypto-Anarchy manifestos, but pretty much I think more people have probably read Nakamoto Satoshi's white paper instead. Probably better off starting there, but then maybe looking at the manifestos. But the gist is using technology to free ourselves from harassment from authoritarian structures, specifically the government. And yes, it can help you liberate you from corporate structures, but that is not the main intention and focus of anarchy. In fact, actually, if you look up the history of anarchy, despite that there are 18th and 19th century philosophers, particularly Proudhon, who I enjoy, the kind of focus on the property aspect of anarchy, earlier works are more kind of spiritual and focus on being in tune with nature. I'm kind of digressing a bit. Using cryptographic software to protect us from harassment from authoritarian structures. Love is optional.